Hey everybody, my name's Mike Tomorrow, and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. Today's topic I'm going to be talking about is mixing business with pleasure. Now, mixing business and pleasure together can be a tricky topic to talk about, but I'll talk about it. I know that sometimes we like to mix business with pleasure, like invite people to come to campouts or invite people to come over to a house for a barbecue or a party or whatever from the workplace, and but sometimes you should leave those workplace business behind at the workplace and leave your personal life at home. You do not want to mix business with pleasure, because if you say something wrong about the business when you are having like a party or something, or if you're going out with somebody from the workplace and they notice it, they'll report you and you'll probably get fired for it. So you gotta be careful what you do when it comes to mixing business with pleasure. For me, when I was growing up, I tried not to mix school with my camping club or school with any other activities I had going on, because I just didn't want to cause any problems, And I felt fine with it, keeping school with school, camping club with camping club, home with home, family with family. I didn't want to try to mix them all together, And I felt fine with it because I have something to fall back on with the camping club, And if I had somebody from school join the camping club, let's say, and me and the person didn't get along, it could cause problems, and you just don't want that to happen. So that's why I tried to keep school with school, camping club with camping club, and it worked out fine. And back in '99, I started my fantasy football network and my pro pick'em game, and I was trying to get people from the camping club and school and whatever to play, and people online, of course, play, for free and all that. And that was one of the first times I ever mixed camping and school together. I just didn't want to be putting them together just in case things fall apart, And then I know that I had my graduation party when I graduated high school, and I had a few members of my school come, and then a few members of the camping club come, and then my family was there too. So, and that was okay, And then I know that I went to when I was growing up, I went to some parties that my Disney cast members had, It was fun, I just didn't want to mix business with pleasure, like talking about business when it's supposed to be a fun time, So, you just don't want to cause any troubles for yourself when you try to mix business with pleasure. Because if you do, there's a chance you're going to lose your job if your boss finds out. That's why also you try not to add your bosses onto your Facebook, like you're friends with your bosses, unless you both leave, or unless you leave, or something like that, or one of you leave, and you're really good to them, and they're really good to you, and you really like them, and you want to stay in touch with them, that's fine. But being friends with them online and you're working for them, that's not fun. Because the boss can take whatever you put on there and have it against you, Like, for example, if you post your party photos or if you say something bad about the employer, then that employer can turn around and get you, And as somebody with Asperger's like me, I know it can be a little difficult to try to keep secrets offline. But we slip up once in a while, and we make mistakes. I understand, but you know, but you just don't want to make those mistakes that can cost you. You know. And then some of these companies nowadays, they probably have you sign something that says you need to keep secrets with secrets at work. You need to keep your secrets at work. You just don't want to go online and blab about something that you heard about at work. You know, you just don't want to have those moments because you can probably lose your job if you do that. And you don't want to lose your job if you do that. You know? Losing your job is not good. Trust me. But if you tell someone's secret online, that can even be worse. So just don't mix business with pleasure, wherever it's online or offline or whatever, you know? And you'll do okay, you know? You just don't want to get in trouble. Like, I know when I was working at Disney, I kept things a secret. And, you know, and then, you know, in life, you just don't want to mix business with pleasure, you know, because business is important for you because that's your job. That's where you work. That's where you get paid. And if you try to mix that up with pleasure, like camping club, for example, or one of your other clubs or whatever, then you'll ruin your reputation. And you'll probably lose your job. You know, and you'll feel sad and depressed and upset, and you know, you don't want that to happen to you. Nobody wants that to happen to them. So, if you do try to mix business with pleasure, just don't get too carried away. Let's say you go to a party, and then you talk about it at work. You know, some people just don't want to hear about your parties. And you gotta respect that. You know, just don't get carried away. You know, business means business. Business means workplace. Business means job. You just don't want to mix up those things with your personal life, you know. You know, you should not do that. I know, I have another example for you. I tried applying for a job with one of the marketing companies that does the one of the camping shows I work for. I applied for that, and I was going to say I work with the RV show, and my parents were thinking, and I was thinking, might not want to do that because it's one of their clients, and if you tell them about the thing, and you could screw them over, you could screw you over. So I just sent my resume and whatever, and I just did not include the camping club. You do not want to do that. That's also a conflict of interest. That's another thing. And I talked about that on another video earlier in the series. But you just do not want to mix business with pleasure, because if you do, then you'll get screwed and you could lose your job. And losing your job is not the funnest day in the world for anybody. You know, so just don't do it. Leave work at work, leave home at home, leave whatever at whatever, and you'll do fine. You know, just don't bring up work activities. Just don't bring the topic up of things at work at a party, because you'll get screwed. So just do yourself a favor, and also just don't add your bosses online unless you're not working for them anymore and you have a good relationship with them where you want to be friends with them. But just don't become friends with bosses online if you're currently working for them, because you'll get screwed over for that too. So talk to you guys all later. Bye bye.